The struggle between Ejiogbe and Olofen. In his position as king of the Olodus, Ejiogbe became very famous and rich. Worried about the presence of a powerful king in his domain, Olofen, the traditional ruler of Ife, organized an army to fight against Ejiogbe. Meanwhile, Ejiogbe had a dream in which he saw an imminent attack on him. He then invited a diviner named Awó Jagida, Olupe Kaperoja, an easy arrangement ends in hospitality, to perform divination for him. He was told to seek a porcupine, Okhaen in Bini, Urere in Yoruba, which was to be used to prepare a meal, although he was advised not to eat from it. The rest of the attendees did eat from the porcupine. After this, the conspiracy against him was undone. Not long after, when Olofen saw that Ejiogbe was still around and was becoming even more popular than him, he organized another group of elder knight warriors to fight against him. Ejiogbe again went to the same diviner who advised him to seek a hedgehog, Akika in Yoruba and Ekwe in Bini, for another sacrifice. The Ifa priest added the pertinent leaves and used them to prepare another meal, once more warning Ejiogbe not to eat from it. After the meal, those appointed by Olofen to fight diabolically against him were too embarrassed to face Ejiogbe. After each of the meals prepared, the diviner had collected the heads, the skins, and the bones of the two animals. When Olofen discovered that Ejiogbe was still in the town and continued to be as popular as ever, he urged the people to openly expel him from there. Once again, Ejiogbe invited the priest who advised him to obtain a male goat and a complete antelope for a special sacrifice to Eshu. Ejiogbe obtained the two animals which were used for the sacrifice to Eshu. The priest used the meat to prepare another meal, from which Ejiogbe was told not to eat. The people, even after having enjoyed the meal, insisted that they would have to expel Ejiogbe from Ife. As much as they tried, this did not materialize. Before leaving his home for the palace of Olofen, Ejiogbe went to the sacred place of Eshu with kola nuts, a spoonful of palm oil, and a conch to invoke Eshu with an enchantment, so that he would accompany him to and from the meeting, because he did not know what conspiracy awaited him this time. Before leaving, he made his own mark on the ground and repeated another enchantment. He passed all the ambushes without any incident occurring and arrived without problem inside the palace. Olofen was surprised to see him, and since there was nothing tangible to discuss, the meeting ended just as it had started. Olofen was sure that the ambush would surprise him when Ejiogbe was on his way back home. The moment came for Eshu to intervene. As soon as Ejiogbe approached the ambush site, Eshu called the antelope with which the previous sacrifice had been made to become whole again, and it jumped in the middle of the ambushed assassins. Almost immediately, they all abandoned their watch and chased the antelope until they reached Olofen's palace. When the antelope penetrated into Olofen's palace, a general confusion occurred, and there was a huge fight in the town of Ife. In the midst of the commotion, Ejiogbe quietly walked in peace towards his home, without being disturbed in any way. For his part, Olofen accused the assassins he sent to stalk Ejiogbe of not fulfilling his orders, so they were all locked up. It was Ejiogbe who later returned to the palace to appease the confusion that had been created by the mysterious antelope. He used his divination tray and another enchantment to bring peace and tranquility once again to Ife. After this, Ejiogbe invited all the Ifa priests, chiefs, and elders of the town to a meal prepared with a cow, goats, and chickens in gratitude to Orunmila, the divinity of wisdom. After the meal, he decided never to associate with Olofen again. Then he sang in praise of the Awó, who accompanied him during the time Olofen bothered him, and of Eshu, who used the antelope with which he made the sacrifice and scattered his enemies. It is for this reason that all the children of Ejiogbe in Ogbodun are forbidden the porcupine, the hedgehog, and the antelope to this day, because these were the animals he used to crush Olofen's evil plans against him. This also explains why the children of Ejiogbe do not get along well with any Oba or king in their domains.